Daylight will tell on you, won't it? Let me see how long it's gonna take me to get to my friend's house. That's where we're going. We're gonna take the freeway so we can get there today. Okay, so 20 minutes. No, why is it 20 minutes? She's not that far. Hold on, I'm gonna stop it and then restart it, because sometimes, okay, 15 minutes. That's better. 15 minutes. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's go. Oof. Why was you late? I look crazy. I had to fix it. I couldn't show up at your house like this. I am meeting up with my friend Holly, who, listen, I don't call folks my sister lightly, all right? You can't just be my sister. You know, it's a crazy exclusive club. Emphasis on the crazy. And yeah, so if I have chosen you as my sister, you my people. And here's what's beautiful is I have sisters who, I got sisters who, not all my sisters are black. Wait, hold on, somebody just sent me something important. Okay, I'm back. A friend of mine just sent me an urgent message, so I responded, but there's nothing I can do, you know, and it's not, yeah. So, and it's not life or death, but it was important. What was I talking about? I was talking about the different people in my life. You know, I got some sisters from another mother. It doesn't have the same ring as brothers from another mother, and I do have a brother from another mother. But I got some sisters too. So I'm going to see one of my sisters right now. She's, I mean, like, you know, sometimes you meet people and there's a certain simpatico or spirit or energy or vibe, and you're like, oh, you, me, same, you know, and what's understood don't need to be explained, as the saying goes. So, my friend that I'm heading to see now, she's a personal trainer, a CPR instructor, a mom of 3 adult children, a wife. She's not a grandmother yet. She would like to be. She's Israeli. She was born in Israel, but she is Californian because she has been here since she was a child. And we are working on her website. I built her a website 100 years ago, and I didn't even realize she was still using it all this time. Oh no, it's raining. Oh no, I have an umbrella though. And I think I put a plastic bonnet in the car. I meant to. I hope it's in there. We're gonna find out. But yeah, this is what my hair doing today. I have been having some trouble figuring out my roller situation, because I don't want to put heat on my hair every day. I think that's a bad idea. I can do it, you know, a couple times a week or whatever, once a week, twice a week, and it'll be okay. But I bought some satin rollers, and my hair would just slip off of them. Like, I would roll 4 of them and 3 of them would be, 2 of them were undone and 1 was on its way. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be doing this every night. You know, I was gonna talk about code switching today. I mentioned it in my last video, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about code switching and what it means and why folks do it, to enunciate. So I talked about how some of us have become accustomed to switching up the way that we speak, depending on the circumstance. You know, you don't necessarily speak in the same cadence or dialect with your friends and family that you do when you're handling business. And a lot of times when I say, I know I have people in the village who are not black or black American. I know that. So when I talk about black American things, you know, it's based on my knowledge and my lived experience, and also experiences recounted to me by other black American people that I know. So it's not meant to be exclusionary. It is the culture that I know best. So a lot of black Americans, especially my age and older, grew up in a time where you didn't want to sound black on the phone. You didn't want people to know that you were black when they talked to you on the phone, because you would be treated differently. Hold on, let me tell my friend that I'll be there in 5 minutes. Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Good Lord, wait a minute. I got too many texts I haven't responded to. How do I use this thing? Text Tolly.
Okay, work or home?
Work.
Message.
5 minutes! Exclamation point.
5 minutes. Ready to send it?
Yes.
A taillight pepper.
That is not her name. Okay, so you would be treated differently if you, we're not talking about necessarily broken English, you know, you splitting infinitives, you know, we're not talking about that necessarily. It was just the timbre of
Okay. Do you want to reply?
No. Of your voice, because in my experience,
all right.
Oh, shut up. Black people, in particular, black Americans, tend to have either heavier voices, or we speak from a different part of our diaphragm, anatomy, whatever, down in the gut than non-black people. Even if black people use crisp English, 9 times out of 10 I know who I'm listening to because of the timbre of our voices, the weight that our voices have, the gravitas. So when we want to call and handle some business and we ain't got time for no foolishness, or you know, somebody who's not gonna treat us with respect because we're black, we use the white face. Okay, now that is called code switching. Okay, that is not the only instance of code switching. Code switching also occurs when you know, if you're talking one way to your friends and then you're talking another way to your parents, or you're talking one way to your parents and you're talking another way to a member of the clergy, or you know, whatever. Like, we do it. We speak differently in different situations because they call for it. You're not going to speak the same way, I hope, to a random person on the street as you would to your romantic partner, I hope, because that's creepy. So we code switch all the time. The problem is when you code switch, because your natural way of speaking is seen as inferior, or you internalize that it's inferior in some way, and the gatekeepers, the powers that be, say, okay, well, you don't speak what we deem as standard English, so you must be ignorant you have less value because of that. So I am going to deny the things to you that other people automatically get. And it can be life or death. Woo, child. It can be a life or death situation. I'm gonna come back and talk more about this. Right now, I got to get up out this car, cause yeah, here I am. All right. Oh, it stopped raining. I'm gonna take my umbrella anyway. Where is it? Yeah. Do I have a bonnet in here? Nope. No bonnet. Okay, well, what you gonna do? I'll talk to you. This is my sister, Tolly.
Here I am.
Yes. I just left Tolly, and I decided to go to Sally Beauty Supply and return these flexi rods. So I found myself on Whitsitt Avenue, and I decided, why don't I drive down Whitsitt, see what's new, etc., etc. And I'm going to show you all where I used to live. It was my first apartment in Los Angeles. Let's go. So I am doing some website work, tech work, helping, you know, I like tech. I like tech. Tech. So Tolly needed some help with some things. Like I told you, I can't find my way home most days without a map, but I can generally figure out technology. I love a gadget. I love a new app. Like, I like those things. So Tolly asked me some time ago to fix her website, and so I did some things, but she's been really busy. So we're just now getting together to talk tech. Okay, hold on. Let me pull over. Let me show you. I'm gonna go right across the street from where I used to live and show it to you very closely. All right. Park. Okay. But I think what I was gonna say is I think Tolly and I are gonna barter, because she's like, how much? And I've been waiting to see how much work it's gonna take. And I said, you know what? Let me figure that out, and then we'll figure out the equivalent in personal training. Because I don't want to turn back into Big Booty Judy. All right? And I feel it happening. But this is where I used to live. Whitsitt Avenue. Okay, here comes somebody walking up. Let's see, hold on. Well, let's see if we can see him through the mirror. Not yet. Hold on. There it is. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna roll our window up. But that's where I lived when I first got my apartment. And is he walking to his car, or what's going on over here? I don't know. I lived in 3 different apartments in this building. First, I lived, where did I live? Was I on the end? Nope, I was here. First, I lived here. Right there. And one morning, I came out of the bathroom, and I thought somebody was standing in there with me. So I screamed, and he did not move. And then I took a closer look. Like, I just got out of the shower. I had a towel around me. I took a closer look, and I realized he was outside. And so the way the sun was shining through the glass made it look like he was in there with me. And I can't remember if I threw something on or not. I probably did. But I remember walking to the sliding door, and he's standing there. He's just standing there looking in. So I called the police. But by the time the police came, he was gone. And within definitely under 2 weeks, I moved upstairs. Now I'm trying to remember. When I moved upstairs, I was like, where was I? Hold on. I don't remember. I wasn't there for that long because I got a job at, is that when? I got a job at Fandango. And the commute was killing me. I've talked to you about that before. 2 hours there, 2 hours back. I was screaming in my car on the 405 freeway because traffic was not moving, and I just felt like my life was just like going nowhere fast, or going nowhere very slowly. And I told them I could not do it, and so they relocated me to Westchester. And then I was there a year and a little, okay, a year and a little bit, whatever. And then I left. It was time for me to go. I told y'all, you know, when a job starts taking more from me than it's worth, you gotta go. So I left. 9/11 had just happened. What did I do? Wait a minute. No, I left. I looked for another job. Somewhere in there, I ended up, I got a roommate. Anyway, y'all don't care about all that. But 9/11 happened. I had trouble getting another job because I was used to leaving a job and walking right into another one. So it took me a little bit longer to get a job, and I ended up at Chubb Insurance. And I moved back over here, and I moved into a loft apartment upstairs. And it faced the back of the building.
While editing this, I remembered that there was a family of white cats. They were beautiful. They lived in the back. They lived in the parking lot, and they were all deaf. And they had, I'm trying to remember if they had, I think they had one blue eye and one brown eye. Either that or I think that's what was going on. And they liked to sleep on the cloth top of my convertible car. And so I would go out to white fur on my black rag top, and it would make me so mad. Also, they would pee in the parking lot. So on hot days, by my apartment facing the parking lot, I would get that pee smell in my apartment, and it was disgusting. The things you remember.
It looked like it looked then, you know? Like, I liked the apartment itself. I liked the layout of it. I did not like, it was very dark. Like, you know, things were just brown and beige. Everything's brown and beige. Like, can we have some life in here? Also, my sister Jackie, who some of you know, she's never been on this channel, but she's been on my mom's channel. She came to visit me right after she graduated from high school, and she was gonna stay for 2 weeks, and she stayed for a year, which was fine. We got along fine. So my bedroom area was the loft upstairs. It wasn't closed off, but I would just go upstairs, and that's where my area was. And in the living room area, that I made that her bedroom, and she slept on the futon, and we got along fine. So she was with me for about a year, and then she went back to Chicago. Yeah. So that's the beginning. I'm looking to see what else has been done. I don't remember what this building looked like. I don't remember what this was. It wasn't this. This is clearly much newer. But I have lived in three different apartments on Whitsett. To the point Elton would be like, oh Lord, you looking at places on Whitsett again? I'm like, no, I will do my level best to never live on Whitsett Avenue again. But yeah, see, look, I'm gonna show you what's across the street. So across the street from the building, there's this big park here. And on weekends, there's always soccer going on. Lots of activity happening. And one day something real crazy happened. I'm gonna tell you the story, then I'm gonna go to Sally. So one night, it was late at night, Hold on, I'm trying to get this back in the holder. Hold on. All right. One night, really late at night. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna show you another apartment I lived in too. Yeah. Wait, are we gonna pass it? I think we're gonna pass it on the way back to Sally. Late at night, I'm in my place, and I hear this loud noise. Wait a minute, was I right here? I don't remember anymore which apartment, but whatever apartment it was, I think it was the second one I lived in over here, because I heard it and I was like, what the heck is that? And I glanced out the window, you know, don't want nobody to see me, ain't turning a bunch of lights on and whatnot, because I didn't know what was going on, and I ain't trying to get shot for being a witness. So I look out, like, what? Somebody had come flying down the street and run into this fence. Okay, so the fence is flattened. This fence, well, it wasn't the same fence, but it was built the same. You know, it looked the same. This big, tall fence, okay? So, like, what in the world? There's a car sitting on top of it inside the park. And I stand there and I'm looking, because I'm trying to figure out, is somebody hurt? Is somebody dead? What's going on? I'm looking and nobody. There's no signs of life. And I'm looking and there's nobody on the street. It's like 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. It's late. I'm like, well, if somebody's in that car dead, I can't just like, oh well, I'm going to bed. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to bed. So I called the police. Thinking I was being helpful. Tell them what's going on. As soon as I hang up, 4 guys start getting out the car slowly. I'm like, oh, okay, people are alive. And they start walking away from the vehicle. Sir, where y'all going? I'm just watching. They don't get very far, because here come the cops from this direction. Here they come. Meow. A couple of them take off running. The cops. So apparently, long story shorter than it could be, they were drunk driving. So they got arrested. And that fence stayed down for a while, and eventually they put it back up. But I sure wasn't just trying to get folks, you know, like, I wasn't trying to get anybody in trouble. I thought somebody was seriously hurt or worse, but it was driving under the influence, and they screwed up. So I'm sorry, whoever you were. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to snitch, because I know snitches get stitches. But I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's turn this beat around, and we're gonna go to, where we going? I'm gonna show you my other place on Whitsett, and then there's another one. I don't think we're gonna pass it. I could pass it. Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She is smiling alone. Wait a minute, it's over here. It's over here. I'm trying to get over, man. This, okay, hold on. Let me show you. Yo, this was crazy. So, how can I don't want to do a U-turn. Wait a minute. Can I might have to. All right, U-turn. U-turn it is. No, seriously, I'm gonna stop that. Really, I'm fine. Okay, so I lived over here. Hang on. Put on the hazards. Put her in park. And here we go. I lived here. And let me tell you, the building, like the unit was cute. But this neighborhood, honey. This neighborhood. So I lived back up in here. And this place was so cute up in there, all right? But what I didn't do was visit at all hours of the day and night. So like if you just go a particular time of day, you know, sometimes you don't get to see the nightlife. And the freaks come out at night. So look, I lived above a couple that hold on. You trying to put this back in the holder again. Wait. I lived above a couple that would argue and fight all the time. I don't know if they were fighting physically, but there was a lot of hollering going on. And one morning, I opened my door to see all of her clothing, or a whole lot of her clothing, on the lawn. And I was like, oh, okay. One day I came home to find a brisket, like a brisket somebody had just bought from the store on the curb. You know why? I mean, I'm assuming somebody dropped it, but like, I've never lived anywhere where I saw things like that. But one time I heard somebody yelling, "Pizza! Pizza!" And I was trying to figure out what is, like, what? And so I opened the door to look and see what was happening. And the guy is like, "You want some pizza?" Now, and he didn't even have any clothes on that designated him as a pizza delivery individual. He just had the pizza bag. I assumed there was pizza in it. And I was like, he's like, "You want some pizza?" I was like, did somebody order that pizza? And he was like, no, but if you want some, you can have some. No, I'm good, thank you very much. There was a young man. Something was going on with him mentally. I'm not sure what, but something was going on with him. And he would wait for me to get home. I did not like that. I didn't like it at all. It felt very unsafe. The parking my car in the back, there was covered parking. So I would park my car and then have to walk up the stairs, a lot of stairs, to my unit, which was I did what I could with it, but there was some issues. The landlord, I had to prod him more than I wanted to get him to do things. I ended up living without a stove. A lot of stuff went on while I was in this place. And then when I moved out, he was like, "Where's the stove?" I was like, "Man, I got like a whole record of our conversation, me telling you that the stove pilot light won't stay lit. I called the gas company. The man was like, get rid of this stove." You know, I'm like, I ain't blowing up in here with this stove. You said it was okay. Like, there were just so many things. I didn't have a dishwasher. I'm used to having a dishwasher. I moved in. I thought it was gonna be okay. It was not okay with me. I do not like hand washing dishes. I don't like doing it. So I ate off paper plates, which my mama told me I was trifling, and I was like, I'll be that, but I ain't gonna be washing all these dishes by hand, because that ain't my ministry. Yeah, so the building looked really, really cute. My unit, like, it was spacious. It had no insulation, so in the summertime it was really hot. There was one AC? I think there was one AC, and it was in the dining room. So you could get cool if you were in the dining room. Other than that, it was hot. Like, I felt like I was cooking. And my things I would put in the medicine cabinet would melt. So I had to take them out. The wall would be hot to the touch. But the building looked nice. I would hear mariachi music at ridiculous hours. What else? The young man who would wait for me. He was nice to me. I was nice to him, because, you know, you don't want to be like, "Don't talk to me," and then somebody done knocked you in your head because you being rude to him or whatever. So I was like, "Hey, we friends, okay." One day I came out of my apartment and he was back there, and he was like, "Look at what I did to your car." What you mean, what you did to my car? Like, that's not something you want to hear some random individual who you have not authorized to do anything to your car. So I'm like, what? And he shows me the headlights. My headlights on that particular car had gotten cloudy, and he cleared them. I was like, thank you so much. What did you do? I think I ended up giving him a few dollars to thank him. But I was like, well, what did you do? And he was like, no, I'm not going to tell you. That way you have to come to me. I was like, okay. Okay. So, yeah, did not like that. Also, there were some guys in the garage next to mine who had blowtorches. Lord, blowtorches. The garage door was always halfway down, but I could see they were doing something with blowtorches back there. And again, in order to not get blowtorched or knocked in the head, I decided to just be friendly. Hey, I just moved in over here. You know, I see you guys working out here all the time. I just wanted to introduce myself. And there were two guys in there, and they showed me that they made smoking paraphernalia. Okay, a little bit more on that later. Smoking paraphernalia. I'm like, oh, cool. So they were blowing glass in there. Okay, we cool now. Y'all know who I am. I know who you are. Ain't nobody snitching on nobody. I don't even want to know what else is going on in here. What was cool was, you know, after that, sometimes they would have the garage door open, and they would, hey, Nicole, you know, to say hi to them. And I don't think they told me their names. I'm good. I don't need to know. I don't need to know all that. But hey, it was amicable, right? When I moved out as soon as the lease was up. I was like, I ain't getting out of here. This ain't how I like to do things. And I only moved here because I had a rough year financially, acting-wise. I had booked all these jobs, shot like a commercial campaign. I was supposed to be in 5 commercials for them, and then I had some other stuff I had shot. None of it was running at this time. None of it was running. I was just like, what is happening? So I couldn't afford the rent at the place that I lived at down the street, basically. Not the one you just saw, but there was another place that I absolutely loved, and if I were able to live there to this day, I would be happy. I loved the location, I loved the layout, I loved everything about it. But the rent was going up and my income had gone down, and I was like, I gotta get up. The writing is on the wall. I gotta get up out of here. And I moved too fast, and I came over here. I was like, oh, it's nice. Okay, you know, the price is right. It's, you know, I know the area, and I didn't check it out as well as I should have. So as soon as the lease was up, I was like, I'm leaving. And I said goodbye to the guys in the garage with the blowtorches. And one of them was like, oh no, we like you. You're leaving? And I was like, yeah. I was like, thank you. And they said, we got something for you, okay? Don't let us know before you are gone for good, and we got something for you. Okay. I was like, what y'all, you know. They gave me a glass pipe. They said it was a water pipe. I don't know. I don't smoke, you know, like I know what some like marijuana type stuff looks like, you know, but I don't smoke. I got asthma. I didn't know what it was. I sent a picture of it to somebody. I'm not gonna say who it was, but if he's watching this, he knows who he was. I said, what is this? What do I do with this? And he said, that's a crack pipe. So great. They gave me a crack pipe as a going away gift. It was beautifully crafted. It was beautiful and it had their little logo on it. I ain't gonna tell you what the logo, you know, what the brand name was, but it was well done, you know. I mean, I ain't no crack pipe connoisseur or nothing like that, but it was like, oh, okay, you know, if you're selling selling this in a store and I'm in the market for a crack pipe, I would buy it. Like, why the hell they give me a give me a crack pipe? I wasn't sure how I felt about that. Thank you. I think I don't really know. Okay, so that's where I lived. Sometime after I lived in this place here right before I moved to the place that I lived in for 12 years. So I guess it was 13, 14 years ago that I lived here. And yeah, and let's ease on down the road. You tap rewind. I remember sometimes I would go for walks over here and I would walk and this yard had a bunny rabbit in it. I would just stop and look at the bunny and it would look at me and I would chat with it for a minute and then I'd just keep on going. It's overcast today. Like I said earlier, it's raining a little bit off and on, but it's not raining right this minute. Let's go to Sally Beauty Supply. It's right here, just past the light. North Hollywood has changed a lot in the time since I moved here in 1998. Yeah, 1998. That's when I moved into that first apartment you saw. And but not this area. So the further north you go, or I should say the farther north you go in North Hollywood, the lower the socioeconomic, I want to make sure I'm saying this right, but you know, like the broker the people are. And I'm saying that as somebody who has lived up this way, so that ain't like classist or being shady or whatever. That is just what it is. Nobody with money is trying to live way up north in North Hollywood. Go ahead, lady. Okay, going back in, boo. Yeah, but this Sally has been here a long time. There used to be a Foot Locker right next to it. I guess it's gone now. There's a donut shop right across the street that I would pick donuts and bagels up for. My first job here in LA, my first permanent job. But let me get my receipt together. Oh, it's like somebody stole my stuff. You know, that is the first thing that I think. And I should know better. I lose stuff all day long. But I always think, who been in here? Who stole my stuff? I got some stuff that needs to go back to Sephora before I can't return it. Like, I just, I don't like when there are things that I need and I go get them and they don't function for what I intended them to function for. I need to go back. Baby, come back. All right, so I'm returning this and this. And I'm gonna get some sponge rollers. Wait, I feel like I had something else to return to. Jumbo shower caps, glossing polish, hairspray. No. Okay, just the rollers then. Roller pins. What's a roller? Oh no. Oh, those are no, bobby pins. I bought some long bobby pins. All right, back to the store you go. And then this goes back to Amazon. And this goes back to Sephora. Some people will be like, I never return anything. I will return anything. If it does not function for its intended use, it gets to go. All right, let's do this. I don't think I need my scarf right now. Now watch it start raining. Let me think. I'm gonna put this scarf over my bag just in case I need to cover this hair. couldn't do the return because apparently Sally Beauty Supply's credit card machines are down nationwide today. But I have 60 days to do the return, and the manager was really nice about it, and you know, that helps. That goes a long way. Plus she had cool hair. It was pink and purple. All right, so I'm gonna take you by apartment number 3, and this is the one that I love, but I'm gonna show you this drive. It's really nice. Hold on. Okay, let's turn this around safely. Here. Okay. We are still on Whitsett Avenue, and you'll notice as we go south, it's gonna start looking better, looking more upscale. It's not Beverly Hills, but it goes from North Hollywood to Valley Village to Studio City, and those areas are nicer as you go south. And then at Studio City, you see that mountain in the distance? Hold on. Way up there. When we say I'm going over the hill, hold on, that's not a good. Yeah, you see it way in the distance? Okay. When we say I'm going over the hill, that means that we are leaving the valley and we are going over the hill, because the valley is surrounded by mountains. I don't know why we call them hills, but we're going over the mountain, through the mountain, round the mountain, but we're getting out of the valley. And directly over the valley, over the hill or over the mountain from where we are right now is Hollywood. Okay? And Hollywood sounds glamorous, but actual Hollywood is kind of sketchy. If you spend any time in Hollywood, you know. But you can see that mountain in the distance. And there are multiple ways to get over the mountain. You may have heard of Laurel Canyon Boulevard. It's a famous street out here. Ventura is another one, Ventura. And Mulholland Drive. There are songs, there are movies about Mulholland, and Mulholland goes around the mountains. Like, you can just take Mulholland. I don't know if it goes in a circle per se, but like, you can just drive Mulholland and be up in the Hollywood Hills and see some sights. You can look down into the valley. You can see the other side of the valley, so LA proper. And I am your tour guide for today. Please tell me, do you all like seeing the city when I'm driving? Or you just want like, is that a waste of time? Because I don't want to add in a bunch of stuff that folks don't really want to see. Let me know in the comments. This building up here on the right hand side, right here, this big building, right, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all see. I lived here, and I liked living here. I wonder how much it is now. I need to look this up and see how much it was. But when I moved in, I was making good money. I think my rent was like $1,200. Don't quote me on that. Something like that. $1,200 a month. But going from $800 to $1,200 was a huge leap. But I was tired of living in that first building. Let's see. There's parking in the back. There's a restaurant attached to it. But I liked it over here. Okay, first of all, there were a lot of elderly people in this building. I think now looking back, I didn't understand it then, but now I think it's because this building has elevators. This is me putting the phone on the holder. There were 2 pools. Let me think. I rarely got into them. One was a nice big pool. I think the other one, I can't remember if it was a wading pool for children or if it was a jacuzzi. I don't remember. I think it was a jacuzzi. I liked this block. I liked this area. I could walk that way to Whole Foods. I could walk that way to Gelson's. A bunch of other stuff. Laurel Canyon Boulevard is right down there. I got hooked on Minchie's frozen yogurt at a particular time, so I would be like, okay, well, at least I'm burning the calories off. Walk myself down to Minchie's twice a day. Minchie's had me in a chokehold. But I liked it here. I wonder, let me see, I'm trying to see. So it's called Diplomat Park Apartments. I don't know why. I wonder how much it's, and this was my, wait a minute, yeah. Wait, was I on the 2nd or the 3rd? No, I was on the 2nd floor because I wonder if the man, so shortly after I left, well, that apartment looks, well, it looks empty, but there are plants outside. I had so many plants. My mom came, she helped me do plants, and like, I love this place. It had some charm, like, cause it's an old building that they've kept up, so it had you know, some cool tile and some built-in stuff. I like that the oven was in the wall, and it had an electric cooktop. I know a lot of people like fire, prefer fire. I was good with electric. Yeah, lots of things that I really loved about this building, but I couldn't afford it anymore. Yeah. I'm curious. Let me see. Hold on, let me see something. I want to know what these apartments are going to see. My guess for a 1-bedroom, I would say $2,300. Okay, just by the way prices are right now in LA, and knowing the amenities of this building. But I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna park right up here on this circular drive, which I always liked because it was easy for folks to come and pick me up. Just pull on up to the circular drive. All right, I'm gonna go in here and ask. Here, I'll pull up right behind him. That's what I'll do. He look like he letting his dog poop in the yard. I hope he got a bag with him. I should yell at him, don't do that! He'll be like, who are you? No, he don't have a bag with him. See? I ain't got no dog. Because I don't want to pick up dog poop. Well, that's not the only reason, but that, you know, I don't want to. But if you got a dog, that comes with the territory. Pick that mess up. Y'all, I ended up doing a tour. I'm in love. I want to live in this building. I didn't tell her I'd lived there before. I really didn't intend to do a tour. You know, I just wanted to go in and see what was available and ask how much, da 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 da. But she insisted on taking me on a tour, and I like what I saw. And rent is $21.95. I know, but this is LA. I know. $21.95 a month, and then I pay all utilities. But they've done so many upgrades since I lived there. I'm like, okay, I would not need a gym membership because there's a gym in there. There's a sauna in there. There is a jacuzzi and a larger pool. I filmed a little bit without showing her that I was filming. I hope it came out okay. I'll find out.
It did not come out okay. I don't know what I did. I should have just asked her if I could film.
I like it. And it's rent controlled. Buildings built in LA after a certain date have no rent control. Like your rent can be, $2,000 one month, and then the next month, or when your lease ends, it can be $2,600. But everything built before a certain date can only go up by a certain percentage. I don't know what it is now. It used to be 3%. I'm sure it's not 3% anymore because everything goes up. Everything goes up. Nothing seems to come down, except income. No, what your income can buy comes down. She's been there 7 years. I don't know if she lives there, but she said there is on-site management. I'm telling y'all way more than you want to know. But maybe this is something that goes on my vision board, which I have not done. We started this discussion talking about code switching. And the need to change yourself is where I was going with it. The need to change yourself. Contort yourself in ways that don't serve you but make other people feel comfortable, and whether or not to do it. I told you I worked at Chubb Insurance, and I put locks in my hair, dreadlock. I put sister locks in my hair, and they wouldn't do right. Well, I wasn't going to have a loctician tighten them up because I didn't want to spend the money. So I was tightening them up myself, and there were parts of my hair that just did not want to lock. So after like 2 years, I was I'm letting this go. So I shaved my head. And there was a black woman who worked at the insurance company, and she would always tell me, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I could cut my hair short, wear my hair natural. I was like, it's your head, do it. But she was concerned about being looked at as unprofessional. How is me wearing my hair groomed? Okay, we're not just talking about I just got out the bed, and my hair is flat on one side or whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about groomed, clean. How is my hair unprofessional because I'm wearing it the way that nature intended for it to look? How's that unprofessional? Who decided that was unprofessional? That's a rhetorical question. For what reason was that decided to be unprofessional? Who does it benefit? Who does it hurt? It's the same thing with code switching. When you hide or deny certain parts of yourself that are innately you. We ain't, again, on this channel, we ain't ever talking about, well, I'm doing this, I don't care, we hurting other people. We're not hurting other people intentionally. Okay? We're not doing that. But it's you, it's your body, it's your life. It's not gonna affect anybody else other than, I don't like the way you look. Okay, don't look at me. Don't look. But all these things can serve to give you low self-esteem, where you feel inferior unless you are doing this thing over here. I feel inferior if I'm not straightening my hair. I feel inferior if I am not speaking the Queen's English or the King's English. Somebody asked me one time. There were a lot of things that I didn't pick up on when I was much younger, because you don't know much about the world, and I might have been 19, and somebody, and I'm appalled now at this. The man who is responsible for first teaching me tech. I look back now and I'm like, oh my God. Today, I'm sure he's one of them red hat people. If you know, you know. If he's still alive, I don't know. I need to Google him and see. But I appreciate what he did and the start that he gave me, because it has served me so well in my life. So I appreciate that. But every now and then he would say something or ask something, and I would be like, okay, I felt like that was kind of greasy. But I cannot articulate exactly why. He asked me how I escaped the ghetto one time. I told him I've never lived in a ghetto. I don't know what you're talking about. Never lived in the ghetto. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why you asked me this question? You know, and he chuckled. Even as he taught me computer stuff, he asked me, how come you understand this? And I didn't pick up on it then. Like, now I know why he was asking me that question. I was like, I don't know. I mean, how come you understand? Like, I didn't, what is this question? Because and here we go. Fortunate, blessed, grateful. I am fortunate, blessed, and grateful to not have internalized racism. I understood it. I have that aptitude, but why would I not? Why would I not understand it? I don't feel inferior. I didn't know. I knew that switching into the white voice was a way to get things done. But I didn't think it was because anything was wrong with me. I thought it was because the other people, they didn't understand. You know, they only understood whatever dialect they spoke. And they didn't understand what I spoke, so now I gotta, you know, dumb it down, if you will. I don't think of Black English as that's how dumb people talk. Because there are rules. There are rules. There's syntax. You can't just say any old thing. And yes, it varies by region, but we know the rules. And we know when somebody is faking the funk. We know when you're putting a noun and a verb together, or you're using something in a way that it is not intended to be used, because you don't know any better. We know. We know when y'all perpetrating, okay? We know. So while out here, I was aware of the fact that people saw Black English as inferior, or a sign that you were unintelligent or less educated or whatever. I get it. And sometimes it is. But the ability to bend language to your will, to use whatever dialect, whatever vocabulary, whatever cadence you need to use in whatever particular circumstance, how is that not a gift? How is it not a gift? So yeah, there's been this movement to not code switch anymore. No code switching. We just gonna be who we are, and we just gonna say things how we want to say them. Wait, I think I just passed where I was trying to go. Wait, hold on. Let me get myself together. Hold on. Yeah. And I'm very hungry. I'm very, very hungry. I've had 2 cups of coffee today and nothing to eat. Stop it, hazards. Well, I forgot what in particular I was saying, but
turn right on West Olive Avenue.
How is it not a plus to be able to use language in different ways for your own purposes? I've never understood.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right on West Alameda Avenue.
I've never understood why people put down, oh, so-and-so is speaking in broken English, you know. Oh, they're an immigrant. Speak English! You know, that kind of rudeness. Speak English! They don't even know how to speak English. Okay, wait a minute now. They are fluent in Spanish, maybe Portuguese. You know, they might have a Mayan dialect. I mean, whatever. I'm just throwing things out there. And their English is passable. And it's their fourth language. But you think they're ignorant. How many languages do you speak again? 1? And if we're being honest, sometimes the folks who act that way are marginal at best at that one language. So what we're not gonna do is say that folks are ignorant or treat people as less than because they are not, they don't measure up to your yardstick that you say is important. We got to be careful about that. So yeah, since I had talked about code switching and how I code switch. Listen, I code switch on this channel in the middle of a sentence, right? 1 minute I'll be saying something, you know, and the next minute, that's how we do. That's how we do, because we can. And I truly believe that folks who are complaining about these things, who are complaining about our ability to maneuver how we need to maneuver, people who complain about the fact that we can have an afro one day, braids the next day, straighten it the next day, and not have our hair fall out of our heads. Why you mad? I got to college in Iowa, and people didn't understand me. I'm from the south side of Chicago. And I sounded different than I sound now. I mean, I've just been out in the world, you know, like, so you don't necessarily sound the same. You pick up things from here, there. But folks had a hard time understanding me when I spoke.
You've arrived at your destination.
And so I found that people would talk down to me or talk to me in weird ways or ask me to repeat myself multiple times, and you know, or they thought I was being funny when I wasn't. I was just saying something, and the way I said it was different from what they thought educated people should sound like, and it was a distraction for them. It was a distraction for them. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's happening now. You don't understand. So let me simplify so that you are able to understand. And yeah, and that's still going on today. Are you coming out, man, with the go? You can go ahead, man. But we're just gonna sit here while people wait. Is that what we're doing? Okay, no, we good. You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. So in order to be a friend, a sister, a brother, an ally, you have to accept me as I choose to present myself. And accept that even if I present myself in a way that's different from the way that you present yourself, my presentation is equal and valid to yours. Okay? It is equally, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It is equally valid, is what I was trying to say. You teach me things, I teach you things. I believe that different cultures, different skin colors, different races, different ethnicities, whatever, however we have divided ourselves or nature has divided us, they're beautiful. Beautiful. There are no throwaway cultures. Oh, all of them is trash. Really? Why they here then? Why they here? God put them here. And even if you don't believe in God, somebody put them here. You know they here. So how they all trash? Like all of them? Every last one of them. When you think that way, something's wrong with you. And we live in a society right now. Most of us who are watching this are from the U.S. We live in a society right now where there are people who believe that way. All them so-and-sos are, all of them. That sounds like a you problem, because it can't be everybody else. I think I'm done. We've done a lot today. If you like this video, if you have comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, whatever, put them down in the comment section. I would love to hear them. And yeah, if you like seeing, it's really smoggy out there. Just out, like, it's really smoggy. I'll show you a picture, but I'm gonna get out of here and go in here, handle this business, get back to the house, eat something, and then I got some things to do. And I will talk to you real soon. Okay, bye. I'm gonna zoom and see if I can get it to focus on, see, it rained. Now I got spots on my windshield. Hold on, look past the spots, y'all. Wait a minute. Let's see. You see how, like, cloudy looking it is? It's like hazy, huh? Yeah. It's just very hazy. All right. I'll see you again soon. Bye.